Recently, Palworld had a major update called Tides of Terraria, which, among the ton of normal new features, unsurprisingly, included the long-awaited Terraria collaboration update, and it adds a ton of Terraria-related stuff into the game. So, I thought it would be a good idea to go over all of the Terraria-related things that got added in this update, while also showing you how to get them yourself. Everything Terraria related in this update, outside of Moonlord, can be found on this new island, just south of the volcano, or the Fisherman's Point if you have that fast travel unlocked. Once here, you will see a new fast travel statue you can unlock, and on the hill above it, you will find the Terraria Dungeon. This is beautifully put together as a mix of a few Terraria biomes, like the Underground Mushroom, Underground Hallow, Abandoned Buildings, Underground Jungle, and more. Everything in here is around level 30 to 40, so you will want to be around that as well before attempting this dungeon. Regardless, after entering the dungeon, you will come into a forest biome filled with green and/or blue slimes, which you can, of course, catch. As you go deeper into the dungeon, you will also end up finding illuminant, red, and even rainbow slimes as pals you can catch. Slimes weren't the only Terraria creatures turned into a catchable pal though, as we also have the enchanted swords, demon eyes, cave bats, illuminant bat, and finally, you end the dungeon off by fighting an alpha Eye of Cthulhu, which you can either catch or defeat to finish off the dungeon. And while the Terraria pals are definitely a cool addition, there's a lot more Terraria-related things within this update, like the weapons and armor. In the dungeon, you are able to collect crafting blueprints for Hallow Armor, the Vortex Blaster, the Terra Blade, the terraprisma, and finally, the Night Glow. The Hallow Armor is the only Terraria armor set that got added in this update, but they made sure that you can choose between the different headpieces to give you different effects, just like normal Terraria. Moving on to the weapons now, easily the coolest and most useful one is the terraprisma. As, just like it does in Terraria, it will auto-attack anything around you, making it extremely handy when running dungeons. If not the most useful weapon in Palworld, since it doesn't require care or ammo. The Terra Blade is also super neat, with it shooting out a strong projectile, just like it does in Terraria. The Vortex Blaster also works amazingly, with it shooting a rocket randomly every so often, just like it does in Terraria. But I didn't end up using it nearly as much, since it's the only Terraria weapon that requires ammo. And finally, the last weapon you can get in the dungeon, the Night Glow, which was my go-to weapon before I managed to get my hands on the other ones, as the Night Glow has amazing range, while also allowing you to just spam it endlessly. Aside from those weapons, there's also the legendary Meowmere, which you can use one of two ways. The first is by unlocking it with your technology points, and then crafting it by hand. The second is by beating the second Terraria boss that this update adds, which is Moonlord. Unlike the Eye of Cthulhu, which is a pretty tame fight overall, Moonlord takes Palworld boss fights to a new level. To even start the fight, you first have to find the Celestial Sigil blueprint in the dungeon. Craft it using hallowed bars, which you also find in the dungeon through enemies and bases. Pick a base of yours to possibly get destroyed. Build a summoning altar at the base you picked, and then you will finally be able to place our Celestial Sigil down and summon Moonlord. Once you're actually in the fight though, the next hurdle comes, as you fight Moonlord the same way you do in Terraria, but he's huge and in 3D! So, while in Terraria, dodging his attacks can be somewhat easy, in Palworld, attacks can follow you regardless of what direction you go in, like its beam attack! Regardless, once you do manage to defeat him, you will get the classic death animation he has in Terraria, and you will have the chance to get some loot, like a Moonlord mask and the legendary Meowmere that I mentioned earlier. If you aren't able to beat him though, then you are in luck, as the final Terraria feature of this Palworld update actually gives you a super easy way to increase your health, which is life crystals. Just like in Terraria, when you eat one, it will increase your health a decent amount. But unlike Terraria, the crystal hearts in Palworld always spawn in the exact same places in the Terraria dungeon. So, you can easily do it over and over again until you get your health up to the point that you need. And that wraps up this video. This whole update Palworld just got was actually a part of a collaboration between Palworld and Terraria, with Terraria most likely getting their own Palworld related features in a future update. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to see end up in Terraria from Palworld. Thanks for sticking to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Terraria content like this in the future. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day.